Now, probably the worst thing about Battlefield 2042 was it being a live service game. Straight up, I'm pretty sure Helldivers 2 is literally the only game on the market that has been able to nail down a live service model correctly. But instead of being like Helldivers 2, Battlefield 2042 was a live service game that just did not effectively bring out any sort of form of service outside of a bunch of weapon skins and a couple maps. I hate to sound like those remember berries from South Park, but y'all remember Battlefield 1 when they would just casually drop like 3 maps on a consistent basis? I'm talking maps that are just incredibly diverse, whether they be covered in napalm or fire, or whether they be like a beautiful fucking flower pasture or some shit. But even before then, with Battlefield 4, they had the premium edition, right? They had the edition where DICE were kind of forced to make beautiful, awesome DLC maps, because if they didn't, I don't think any premium purchaser would get their money's worth. But ladies and gentlemen, we are not talking about Battlefield 4. We are not talking about Battlefield 1. And we are also not talking about Battlefield Hardline. I don't think anyone's talking about Battlefield Hardline anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the future, about the next Battlefield game, and how it has unfortunately came out that it will be based around yet another live service model. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the devil has entered the building, and fucking up the Battlefield franchise is what's on his mind. Right now, recently, Electronic Arts, otherwise known as EA, otherwise known as pieces of shit, had an earnings call going over the future and, really in lack of better words, jerking themselves off on how live service games are making them a boatload of money. Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA, stated in the beginning of the call that, quote, "As live services deliver fresh content, players are going deeper and spending more time with their friends in blockbuster experiences." Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would consider to be known as cap. Ain't no way bro said live service and fresh experiences in the same sentence. But I digress. Now, the main thing, the bread and butter of basically this entire call, in my opinion, was really what they were discussing with regards to the future of Battlefield. So initially, Mr. Wilson over here states with regards to the Battlefield franchise that, quote, "With each immersive, action-packed season of Battlefield 2042, players have made it clear that they wanted an even deeper experience." So that's what she said. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Good on you for being self-reflective. Now, I don't know where the fuck the word immersive came from with regards to describing the live service of Battlefield 2042, but to each their own. So, you would think this quote would be followed up by something like, "Which is why, as Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA, that I now hereby state that Battlefield will be made great again. Praise Xenu, the god of Scientology." But nah, bro instead proceeds to drop probably the worst bar of all time. If Drake was CEO of EA, this is the type of shit that he'd probably say. So Andrew states with the next Battlefield game, and this is the last time I do the fucking Andrew voice. "And again, as I talked about in the prepared remarks, I've just spent a whole bunch of time with the collective Battlefield team playing what they're building, and it is going to be another tremendous live service." Another tremendous live service, says fucking Emperor Palpatine. I'm telling y'all, the E in EA stands for evil. How the fuck do you actually read the criticism for the game's lack of content, slow rollout of content, and in general, disservice to the fans, and be like, "Oh, let's triple down on the live service"? And then to rub even more salt onto the wound, Andrew states that EA FC 24, the newest FIFA game, was the basis for how they're going to monetize the Battlefield franchise moving forward. Yeah, that's like going to a heroin addict for self-improvement advice. But look, y'all, if you're worried about the next Battlefield game, you kind of have the right to be so. They can talk all they want on how big of a team they have for the game, how there's multiple studios, but I'm pretty sure Anthem had a large-ass team too with an insane budget, and look how that pile of dog shit turned out. Now look, EA are coasting off of how much money EAFC 24 made them, and now they believe that if they turn all of their products into EAFC, then they somehow have stumbled on some infinite money glitch or something. But the thing is, as someone who's unfortunately put a fuck ton of hours into FIFA over the years, and this kind of rings true with like other aspects of life, the more you base your entire existence around money, the more hollow you become, which is why the FIFA games have slowly become really shit over the past decade as EA continues to put all of their attention and value towards Ultimate Team and towards how much money they can get out of people. And, which is also why DICE should bridge off from EA, get the fuck out of there, and cook on their own. But I digress.